And welcome to Dumb SEO Questions, episode 154. We meet every week to answer the questions asked on the SEO Questions community on Google+. With us tonight we have David Roseanne. David is an SEO copywriter of 10 years standing, a copywriter of 30 years standing, and can be found at writingforseo.org. Masataki Wasa is the Webmaster of wasaweb.net, and he's also a Google top contributor on the AdWords and Google Plus help community. Tim Capper is CEO of onlineownership.com, and he's also a top contributor on the Google My Business forum. Tim can be found at onlineownership.com. Okay, each week we answer the SEO questions asked on the community. You can add your own. You can also join us on the Hangout if you like. Just ask any of the moderators on the SEO questions community for an invitation. Our first item, we only have about 7 to do. This is one that we missed last week. This one, I'm not sure how it works, but I should have, sorry, I did something wrong here. I think that's better now, is it? Yep. I'm such an idiot. Meher Bagat, who joins us on the Social Media Fridays on Monday Hangout, asks, hi guys, can you provide me references, email markup schema for a buy now button? She said, I might be missing something on, and she gives the URL on developers.google.com, which can be seen on the SEO Questions community. There was an answer from Suraj Gadage. No, Gadagay, I think. Suraj joined us last week. I was hoping to see him here this week. But anyway, any comments, guys? No, if there's no comments, I can only refer you to the good answer from Siraj. He said for the buy now action, you need to use the go-to actions markup type. Go-to actions take the user to the website where the action can be completed, in your case, buying a product. And he gives a reference URL on developers.google.com. He also gives a reference to a how-to guide on developers.google.com, and also a tester to test the email markup. All right, let me just tweet that off and we can move on to the next. All right, Sarab Rawat, under the title of Some of My Links Are Blocked, he says, my Webmaster fetch and render is showing this. He said, some external links, live chat on my site, are blocked by the robot's text as or Webmaster tools or Google Search Console is telling him. And he wants to know, is it bad for his website?
If you live chat, no, I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, your live chat, it's on an external link anyway. Google won't be looking at that for your site in that sense. No, I don't think that's a problem.
I agree. Any other comments? Yes, if they're external links and you don't have any control over them, and surely Google wouldn't penalise you for that. All right, here's the next one from Kevin Peterson. I don't know if we have any news experts here, but under the title of rejection in the Google News Publisher Center, he said, my client wants this site in the Google News feed. By following all the guidelines, like implementing news sitemap news tag, what do I need to do now? The site has already been rejected in the Google News Publisher Center. Any guesses? I've never tried to put a site in the news.
I mean, it has to be of you know, a certain authority in the first instance, and of course in the second instance you have to be providing really good newsworthy stuff. You know, you have to build up the site's authority firstly. If you've implemented the sitemap, the tags, I would also, if I remember correctly, they wanted, in the old days, they wanted authorship attached, which of course is not really relevant now, but there may be some other things there to look at. But ultimately, you know, your site needs to be really, really high authority to be even considered for it.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, never had any, never crossed swords with Google News.
Okay, let's go on to the next. It's coming. Here we are. One from Marty Eigner on HTTPS sites and Bing Webmaster tools. He said, I've just switched over a website to SSL. I've registered the HTTPS version in the Google Search Console, but how do you do this in Bing Webmaster tools? I see Jan Stober in the community answers on the SEO Questions community said, what's Bing? And I'd say that's the search engine that handles 30% of the traffic, along with Yahoo. Suraj Gadagay said
to know his way through.
I beg your pardon?
I said, Suraj knows his way through.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He's been on the Bing side.
Yep. Well, for posterity's sake, I'll read Suraj his answer in the community. He said, in the Bing Webmaster's account under Diagnostics and Tools, you have a site move tool. Use this to tell Bing that you have moved and permanently redirected your site or a section of your site to a new location, albeit permanently redirecting your site URLs from HTTP to HTTPS using 301 redirects is sufficient for Bing to understand that you want the new URLs to be indexed instead of the old ones. And this normally happens automatically. The site move tool can help to expedite this process. Yeah, that's cool.
We have other people further down the list here saying, or down the answer saying that it doesn't sound right. What about all the data? So there seems to be some more discussion that I hadn't got down to.
Okay.
Right. Again, this is something I haven't done. New content, not a techie. That's my answer. That's my excuse. I have
Yeah, I think I'd back Siraj in that.
what the 301 needs to be in place.
Yeah, well, as he said, use the 301s and it'll happen automatically, but the site move tool will make it even faster.
Oh yes, he does mention 301s. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Mm. All right, let's move on to the next. We're powering through these. We'll be this will be a record, maybe the shortest SEO questions that we've ever done.
Down the pub, I say.
I might get an early night for a change. This is from Andres Philippe Echevarria Haneo. He says, ending my title tags with my core keywords. He said, should I end my title tags with my core keyword or my site address? For example, homepage is Zappos Shoes Online, and for other pages, boots with the pipe symbol, Zappos Shoes Online, or for other pages, boots, pipe symbol, zappos.com. What's your preference here, guys?
My preference is the first of the two, but I would say that the keyword is unlikely to be boots. We're back to shoe things again. Was this the one we had last week, or is this just another occurrence of shoes? It's likely to be men's boots, ladies' boots, kinky boots, pink fluffy boots, as Masasaki has just put in the talk. So if there is significance to the core keyword, the usage of core keyword, you should have the keyword for the page, not the keyword for the section or the website. So yes, so I'm not sure I would bother to say Zappos Shoes Online because it kind of takes a large percentage of the title tag up. Maybe I would just say Zappos Shoes or Zappos Online and gain a few more characters to say something more specific in the other part of the title tag.
Yeah, I think the world has moved on and the world's evolved anyway. I mean, say 2005, people were still entering in online, like Zappos Shoes Online, but these days they're more likely to say Zappos Shoes or instead of online directory stores or directory stores online, they just put in directory stores because the online is a given.
Yeah, I guess it may depend on the branding. Is this enterprise called Zappos Shoes Online? In which case you might want to go down that route and actually keep saying it. But the value that you get out of the title tag is from the bit that's different, not the bit that's the same all the way through the site. So you know, you want to kind of get the branding out of the Zappos bit, but but you want the specificity from the first section.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments before we move on from this one? Okay. Our next is using a masked URL from Gary Ashton. He said, I have a number of URLs that I point to pages within my site as a masked URL. These are easier to refer to people, such as NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com, which points to my page full of luxury homes. Someone told me that Google doesn't like this and it can actually hurt my rankings. I do it for marketing reasons, as the actual URL is so long and it's easier to remember, NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com. Any advice, or is this even true that Google doesn't like this? I think it's fair to say that Google wouldn't like this. When Gary explains what he's doing, if you type into your browser NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com, it takes you to NashvilleSMLS.com/luxuryhomesestates.php. But instead of just forwarding it, the user will see the URL they typed in, as in NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com.
Oh, so it's not a redirect, it is...
Well, yes, it is a redirect, but it's to be actually specific, it's a rewrite. But the issue here is that this has got to be a doorway page, yeah?
Mm.
Or not?
I think the first para is a very nice bit of oldie worldy SEO copywriting. It's just packed with would-be key phrases.
It just me, or is it very slow?
I thought it was just me, but it is very slow. Yes. I'm even having trouble scrolling down the page to see what else is on there. Anyone else got it slow? I guess the question is, why would you want to do this? Is this going into a lot of offline promotion, and they want people just to type in Nashville Luxury Homes? Or is this some kind of strange SEO move where thinking that NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com will give them an advantage over something that's less less specific. I don't know. I'm struggling at the moment.
I think clearly he's using Nashville Luxury Homes for the keyword Nashville Luxury Homes. These days, it still works. It still works to have keyword-specific domains, but not to the extent it used to.
A lot of people say no, but I disagree on that one. Provided that you've got the content and you're not just using it for spamming purposes, there's no reason why it shouldn't work. But in that case, if this same content, if this same page has got two ways of getting to it, then it's effectively duplicated content, is it not?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's doorway. I think it might be considered doorway pages because you have two, and if one had been canonicalized to the other, for example, if there's a canonical URI set for the page, for example, that might not be too bad. But at the moment, as far as I can see,
Gary, my suggestion would be for you to Google for doorway pages and Google doorway pages, Google guidelines, and duplicate content, Google guidelines, and take your own, make your own guess on it. It's novel, but I don't know that you wouldn't do better by having a fair income page, a little bit more work, but having a fair income page for NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com. Yeah, that's what I'd be doing. I'd make it the other side, a site in itself, and still do a proper job on the main site.
That's probably that's probably the most sensible thing. After all, we've got 410 properties here, and they're going for the wrong side of $1 million. So I think there's not a lot of argument that say it's going to be a lot of expenditure for no return. It seems to be that this section of the entire site is quite substantial in itself.
Yeah. Anybody want to give me an elevator statement for Gary?
It's difficult to see precisely what's happening here, but there are at least two things that could be upsetting Google. The two things that you said, Jim, duplicate content and potential doorway pages. Given the potential worth of this site and this section of the site, I would go ahead and make NashvilleLuxuryHomes.com a standalone site to make sure that you don't upset Google.
What if he has 500 of these? Sorry, David. What if he has 500 of these?
500 of these? What, 500 of these domains pointing to his main domain?
Yeah, like Nashville Luxury Homes, Houston Luxury Homes. I don't know. Whatever.
So I think someone in the responses there says something about having a look at where the traffic is coming from. I think that's certainly one thing to look at. Are any of these domains contributing? And if they're not, well, they're the ones to just remove, I would think. there's also the potential profit from it. If you've got NashvilleGardenSheds.com and you've got five of them, you're not going to make too much money out of it. But if you're at the luxury end of the market and you've got 410 properties at the moment, that's definitely worth going. So you need to have a look at what's happening here. I would say my feeling is either build a site for each of these or remove the or stop using the extra domain.
Okay. Yeah, I really think he'd do a whole lot better to have those two sites competing on the value of their content, rather not having the same content, rather than competing as just pure duplicates. Anyway, right, let's move on from there. Here's a question from Yogesh Dewan, who's asked a number of questions of us over the years. Yogesh said, why is analytics only showing referral traffic? He said, analytics is not showing direct, organic, or paid traffic, and only showing referral traffic, which is spam from social buttons. Why is that? The tracking code has been placed correctly and it says status receiving data. I'm not sure why it's not showing other traffic when the website is ranking on the first page for dozens of high competition keywords and a good AdWords spend. Any ideas, guys?
I don't know any. I can't say much about this without looking at the account, but it just so happens about 2 hours ago I discovered that one of my client sites has lost some of its data, so it's appears to have lost some of its analytics data, and at the moment I'm completely confused as to what's happened. And it's just strange showing. It's just strange that a question like this should pop up, because it's something I've been struggling with for an hour earlier today. Because I'm told that no one's touched the code, and no one's been playing about with the site. So there we go.
Actually, somebody last week reported this as a bug confirmed by I think it was Gary Ellis, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember that.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought it was Search Console.
Yeah, I mean, before I left, so we're talking, so about 12 days ago, I had over 50 sites lose all their data in Webmaster tool, just gone, boom. So,
Has it come back, Tim?
Did you manage to sort that out?
It's come back now. But
Did you go to China to look for it?
Yes, mate. Yeah. Yeah. You can't even get on Google there.
Mm. What was China like, mate?
It was good. It was good. You just can't. Yeah, I tell you what. That is a market. That is a real market. Everyone is always, literally, everyone you see, from old to young, has got a mobile phone glued to their face, constantly using it. Yeah, the bizarre thing, and totally weird, is you can't, because they throttle Google totally. So you can't access Google. You can't access, like, you can hardly access any Google products except Google Maps. They allow Google Maps because everyone uses Google Maps to get around or navigate. So it's the weirdest thing. The rest of Google's completely throttled, but the Maps app is fine. But yeah, and Baidu is terrible, absolutely diabolical. But yeah, it's a really bizarre situation. You got like a market there, 1.5 billion people just waiting. You know. Yeah, so it's a really interesting market.
Like that Alibaba.com, that is an appalling website. Hopeless in the way it allows itself to be spammed and products misrepresented. And yet the guy that built Alibaba is a billionaire from his public offering on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
But it's an appalling website. Do you guys use Alibaba?
No.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I know that if I click this button, it's going to say thank you for watching. But unfortunately, nobody's watching us at the moment. Normally we have somebody must have done something wrong. I'll do my best to try and figure out what it is. But look, if you're watching this at another time, we thank you for your interest. Your interest in what we do makes what we do worthwhile. And we'll be back at the same time next week to do it all again. Oh, before we go, guys, anybody else wanted to say anything? No? Okay.